Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to Stalin's Starcraft 2 Battle Report. And hear me now, brothers and sisters of BattleNet. I want you guys to hear something, and I want you guys to witness something. But I'm just going to tell you guys that this game can lead to some very copious amounts of frustration. This game can be and have some of the most frustrating experiences in recent gaming memory, just playing online and, trying to get good at the game and trying to beat people at the game. It can be extremely frustrating and degrading, and sometimes you just wonder if it's all worth it. But when you play a match like this one, you know that all the frustration, hardships, and everything else you endured while playing this game is all worth it. And you're all gonna see why in this match. At any rate, let's talk about the teams, let's talk about the match, let's talk about what's going on. I, the Stalin here, will be commanding the Red Zerg. Across my ally Vestret will be commanding the Blue Protoss, and this is another guy from another fan from YouTube. And considering now that I've got my BattleNet friends list, I think is already full. And everyone, when I sign on, asked me to play, a game of Starcraft. I'm assuming you're going to be seeing lots of fans in there. And across the map, we're going to be facing Botanicals in command of the Teal Protoss, and Pip in command of the Purple Protoss. And this is on a new map called Warzone, and it's kind of a cool map. And you'll see why, because both players start on this raised, elevated platform that has mineral fields kind of dotting all over it, excess minerals all over the place. And there's 3 ramps to this platform. There's one on each end covered by rocks, and then a central platform, which is the main platform into the base. So I guess it's fairly easy to defend your platform. And then in the center of the map, we've kind of got this torn war zone with debris and crap everywhere. And then around the sort of rings of this war zone are high yield mineral fields. And of course, the map, like just about every StarCraft map, is mirrored on both sides. So immediately, looks like from our enemies, we're going to be seeing a Zealot rush, a Zealot push. And whenever I face the Protoss, I always, as you can see, I'm putting down a Roach Warden, I always try and get roaches out there, considering that Zealots will destroy any Zerglings you throw at them. And if you're good enough, you can manage your roaches around Zealots and make sure that they're unable to attack your roaches, and you can effectively manage them around and destroy them. And I've been able to destroy like huge armies of Zealots with just a handful of roaches, just by micromanaging them around and staying just a little bit out of their reach every time. So both players are going to be throwing their Zealot hordes at us. And I had 2 Zerglings. They were scouting around this match because I saw some probes, and I thought we might have a proxy kind of deal. Turns out there wasn't anything, but they're going to get distracted. But Vestret only has 3 Zealots out. They're going to be no match for this combined force, and they're going to go down pretty quickly. He's got another stalker out. He's managing it pretty nicely, just keeping it out of the range of the enemy. Falling back and shooting them every time. And as you can see on my base, I've got a couple roaches coming in, 6 of them, ready to deal with this horde of Zealots that's just running around the base, destroying everything. They're trying to take down Palans. They're trying to attack his probes. They're able to kill a couple, but he's able to get them out of there. And here come the roaches, and they're going to pretty effectively mop up that Zealot chasing them. Now I'm going to go after these 2 Zealots over here. So we got a stalker coming in. I'm going to tear that down with my roaches pretty quickly. Just playing hardball, hard to get with these zealots, keeping out of their range every time. Vestro's got another stalker out there, and now these roaches are just gonna quickly wipe out these last zealots. And they're going to take down that last stalker, but I'm going to continue to manage these guys around and wipe out the last of their forces. And looking at the damage from that attack, it's pretty substantial. Well, most of my allies' base structures, in terms of gateways and stuff, remain intact. He lost his nexus. He needed me to loan him money, and he's got to rebuild his base from such a devastating attack. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, all right, what are we gonna do? What the hell are we gonna do at this point? But of course, I trying to never give up. I only give up when everything looks totally hopeless. And the chips are down at this point, I will admit, but I'm not gonna give up. So instantly in my head, I decide Mutalisks. Mutalisks is what I need. So I put down the spire, and I'm starting to get on the road to getting some air support. And also, I gotta have these roaches maintain static defense. Also, can see more zealots coming in, and a couple stalkers from Botanicals. Not too many though, and stalkers aren't super effective against Mutalisks anyway. I mean, if they can get in there and they can, I mean, if you have enough to match the Mutalisks, you might be able to destroy their horde if you're able to micromanage them effectively and take out one at a time. But if not, stalkers aren't super effective against Mutalisks because they're more effective against armored opponents, and Mutalisks are light flyers. And they have roughly equivalent HP and damage, and Mutalisks attack a little bit faster, and their attacks bounce off between units, so it adds up over time. Anyway, here comes the Mutalisk horde. I'm going to counterattack with them. And I see those stalkers, not going to engage those stalkers, decide that's not a fight I want to fight, and instead I'm going to go for the jugular, going to take these guys around, going to start attacking these resource lines. You can instantly see they're pulling their forces back, and he's got a cannon in his base defending. I'm deciding that that's not a battle I want to fight. I don't want to fight his cannons. He pulls off those probes. I decide, you know what, let's go get the other guy. Flying across the base. Gonna go get Botanicals. He's got much less defensive than his allies. He's got a sentry here and a stalker. I'm going to be able to quickly take those down with my Mutalisks. And also, he's going to take his probes off the probe line, but I'm just going to follow them. But he's got the rest of his force coming in to assist. But on my retreat, I do notice another Nexus, and I'm going to harass that for a little bit, but pull back. So I decided, that was a decent attack. Not good enough. I need more troops. I need as many troops as I possibly can. Let's get another hatchery out there. Let's do this thing. Let's lead the charge with the Mutalisk horde. Also going to take those Mutalisks back and start harassing my enemy. And I've noticed, and of course he's going to bring those stalkers to bear on my Mutalisks, but I'm gonna fly them off. And at this point, I've already got a nice, assisting batch of Mutalisks coming in. Not more people just wandering around the war zone wastelands. But I have noticed something that I like to read history, obviously, and whenever I look through historical armies or everything, there always seems to be a different dynamic between Western armies, and by Western I mean sort of European and American armies, and Eastern armies, which I mean, you know, kind of Middle Eastern and Central Asian and East Asian kind of deal. Whereas Western European armies tend to want to settle everything in one decisive battle. They want to have that, you know, battle in the center. You know, the Greek city-states would invite their opponents to the battlefield, and, you know, they'd settle it man to man, kind of meet me on the schoolyard at 3, you know, kind of deal. But hold that thought. We can see that there's a counterattack coming in by both these players. The Vesrad at this point has a bunch of zealots out, but they're outnumbered, and they're going to be able to hold the line valiantly. And I've got my Mutalisks coming in. They're going to tear down those stalkers that he has in the background. And then I'm going to do a feigned flight, which is a very Mongolian tactic, thinking that he's beaten my Mutalisks, but then I'm just going to come back while he's distracted, able to take out, you know, 2 or 3 stalkers there before they're able to turn and face my Mutalisk threat, and I am virtually unscathed from that attack. All the stalkers are dead. That leaves the zealots to my mercy at this point. And they're all destroyed, and I decide, okay, it's time to push the attack. It's time to push forward. But anyway, back to my original thought. Basically, historically, European armies are kind of, they want to have that one decisive encounter with each other. They want to meet on the field of battle and settle it there, man to man. Whereas more Eastern armies are kind of like, you know, the horse archer tactics. Like, they don't want to meet you in battle. They want to dodge your attack. They want to come in, and they want to give you a few light punches, and after you're worn out, they're going to deliver that killing blow. So, you know, like I said, the horse archer tactics gonna fly, or not gonna fly around, gonna, you know, go around with horse archers, slowly wearing down your troops, and slowly wearing them down until we can deliver that killing blow. And I've noticed, despite my Western roots, I seem to fight in a much more Eastern style. I fight with those more hit-and-run tactics. I don't want to engage in that, you know, big decisive battle with you. I'm going to try and wear you out and wear you down until I can deliver that killing blow, which is exactly what I did here. This is just totally, like, outplayed these two guys. They wanted to do that whole, let's fight in the center of the match, let's settle it there. I wouldn't let that happen. I didn't want that to happen because I knew they both had superior armies than me. I was going to wear them down, pick them off until eventually I could muster enough forces to to attack with this killing blow here. So there goes the entirety of Cheel's base. He's done. Bananicles is done, and I'm taking out what's left of Pip's stalkers, and he leaves the game. And at this point, I was exhausted. I had been clicking so furiously, I was drenched in sweat, and I could not believe that we won this game. Like, I had not worked so hard to win a StarCraft game in a very, very long time. But Pip is gonna rage quit here very shortly, and that's gonna be a good game for us. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And with that, you know, I'm going to be signing off. This is JosefVStalin signing off for now. Also, you got a replay. I've got a couple of them backed up, but still, if you've got an awesome replay, I would love to see it. And, you know, if it's cool, it's going to go up on the channel. But with that being said, you guys take care.